Avatar, Alice in Wonderland, Iron Man, The Lord of the Rings. These are the kinds of movies that people think of when the subject of special effects comes up. The blue Na'vi of the planet Pandora flying atop giant winged beasts, the diminutive Alice tumbling into a 3D wonderland, a superhero in an iron suit, wizards and orcs battling for Middle-earth. In these story situations, filmmakers use visual effects to open doors onto imaginary lands and characters. Visual effects, often referred to as VFX, is a pivotal process in the world of filmmaking and video production. It involves the creation or manipulation of imagery outside of the live-action shot context, bringing imagination to life and enhancing storytelling in ways previously deemed impractical or impossible. Famous movies like Avatar, the Transformers series and Jurassic Park have used a lot of visual effects. At its core, VFX is the integration of live-action footage and computer-generated imagery, CGI, to produce realistic visual elements. This process allows filmmakers to seamlessly blend live-action scenes with fantastical or hazardous elements, such as creatures, special effects, or expansive environments. In a sense, creating successful visual effects involves breaking the rules to depict a distorted reality. This requires us to suspend the audience's disbelief by manipulating their perception. This is the main task of VFX and requires the practitioner to fully understand how the photographic and digital process works, and therefore be able to create apparently true images, which in reality are fully or at least partially fake. Nowadays, as the audience's appetite gets bigger, epic scenes and battles in film production will need to rely on visual effects. However, not all film companies have their own VFX and CGI departments. They have to turn to large VFX studios such as Moving Picture Company, Framestone, Pixar, and Industrial Light and Magic. These studios produce an amount of incredible work every year and have experience in cooperating with film production studios since decades ago. Industrial Light and Magic, also referred to as ILM, is an American motion picture visual effects company that was founded on May 26, 1975 by George Lucas. Till this day, ILM has won 15 Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects. ILM has been a pioneer in film effects since the first Star Wars movie and worked with famous directors like James Cameron, known for creating blockbusters that push the limits of cinematography and visual effects. ILM has in recent years produced epic visual effects for Marvel heroic films such as Ant-Man and the Wasp, Thor, Black Panther, and so on. The VFX pipeline refers to the process of creating visual effects for a motion picture. Depending on the complexity of the final effect, specialists come together to perform the work needed to complete the project. The process unfolds across three key phases: pre-production, production, and post-production. It's crucial to recognise that visual effects are integral to the overall image, akin to set construction, makeup, costumes, lighting, and other elements. In the research and development stage, filmmakers discuss software, form teams, and create early visuals, and for significant visual effects, a diverse team decides on a special effects program. During pre-visualization, artists create storyboards and animatics to visually represent the film's actions, analysing everything from character motions to the storyline. These 2D animatics are then transformed into a 3D animated rough draft for detailed shot execution planning. In 3D modelling, concept art is transformed into digital form using various digital applications and animation techniques. This meticulous process requires continuous skilled planning and execution throughout all production phases. Notable examples, such as ILM's motion capture work on Bill Nye as Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean, showcase the enduring impact of this technology, allowing directors to capture performances and seamlessly integrate them into film during post-production, where all elements like video footage, special effects, music, sound, and editing come together, often taking months to years to complete. The rigging process is assembling or putting the bones in the mesh of the 3D model. Riggers create realistic structures with joints that correspond to the way objects should move or react within certain environments. Match moving, or motion tracking, is a system that allows you to insert computer graphics into live-action footage with the correct position, scale, orientation, and motion in relation to the objects in the shot. Anytime computer-generated imagery needs to be placed into a live-action sequence or vice versa, a match move is required. There are several different techniques for motion capture, but the most common nowadays is the optical method. An array of special cameras is placed around the capture area. The mocap actor wears a dark, tight suit, and multiple bright markers are attached to it at specific locations. Often, facial expressions are captured as well, in which case additional smaller markers are placed on the actor's face. As the actor moves, the camera array calculates the relative position of every single marker in 3D space. The resulting mocap information is a very accurate depiction of the actor's movement down to the minute detail. That information is then transferred to a fully rigged CG character. In the creation of Gollum in Lord of the Rings, actor Andy Serkis utilised motion capture technology by wearing a suit with sensors that tracked his movements, facial expressions, and gestures. The captured data served as the basis for animators to translate Serkis's performance into the digital character of Gollum, resulting in lifelike movements and emotional depth. This innovative use of motion capture not only brought Gollum to life convincingly, but also set a groundbreaking standard for integrating human performances into digital characters in filmmaking. Special effects are practical, real-life elements performed on the set and captured by the camera. Visual effects are digital manipulations and enhancements of the footage and happen primarily during post-production. The knowledge, techniques, and skill sets used in each craft are widely different. Creating a practical explosion on set requires experience in explosives and pyrotechnics, while creating the VFX equivalent of that explosion calls for a mastery of computer graphics and photoreal rendering. Despite those differences, there's still an important relationship between SFX and VFX. The two crafts often complement each other and sometimes contradict each other. A great example is Star Wars: A New Hope, which was released in 1977. The film redefined blockbusters and heralded a new age in Hollywood. Part of what made Star Wars a massive success was its groundbreaking special effects. A budget of $11 million, which was large in comparison to most science fiction films at the time, but much smaller than most blockbusters. Lucas assembled a super team to create practical on-set effects cheaply that could still dazzle the audience. Luke's land speeder, for example, is pulled off almost completely using practical tricks. For some shots, the vehicle was placed on a crane arm so that it could move while also appearing to be levitating. For other scenes, a small car was placed within the model. The decision prompted for the modelling team to redesign the land speeder from a flying saucer to something lower on the ground. In order to hide the wheels, the crew placed mirrors on the side of the vehicle so that the desert was reflected back at the camera. A crucial aspect that made Star Wars stand out from other sci-fi films was how the props and models looked worn and lived in. One cost-saving solution lay in matte paintings. The technique refers to painting backgrounds and extras to see-through plexiglass with a portion left clear to capture the live-action footage of the shot. A large sheet of glass is meticulously prepared and placed in front of the camera during live-action filming, covering designated areas intended for later matte painting. To pull off the effect, the matte painters needed to match the perspective of the camera along with the lighting and colouring of the scene. The term matte painting originates from the pre-digital days when background elements were painted on glass panels and positioned on set at varying distances from the camera. This generated some parallax when the camera was moving, adding a sense of depth and allowing for richer, more believable backgrounds. Practical effects in filmmaking offer distinct advantages. They contribute to a heightened sense of realism, immersing both actors and audiences in a tangible environment. This interaction with physical elements enhances the aesthetic appeal, particularly in genres like horror, sci-fi, or fantasy, where a hands-on approach can evoke grittiness, nostalgia, or wonder. The immediate capture of effects in camera during production reduces the need for extensive post-production work. However, The implementation of practical effects comes with challenges, including the significant costs and time investments required for design, construction, transportation, and operation. This becomes particularly pronounced in large-scale or intricate scenes. Additionally, safety and environmental concerns arise due to the use of explosives, fire, smoke, chemicals, or animals. Furthermore, practical effects can be difficult to modify or repair, potentially necessitating reshooting or rebuilding. Despite these complexities, the unique qualities of practical effects contribute significantly to the cinematic experience. CGI brings notable advantages to filmmaking, offering enhanced flexibility and creativity, overcoming physical limitations, and saving time and costs by replacing impractical practical effects. It also enables the correction of errors during filming or editing, enhancing overall quality and consistency. However, CGI has its drawbacks, potentially creating a more artificial and detached experience for actors and audiences. Elements like green screens, motion capture suits, and digital doubles may lack the texture and emotion of real elements, posing aesthetic challenges in genres like drama, comedy, or documentary. Moreover, CGI introduces glossiness, exaggeration, or manipulation that may clash with certain styles, leading to increased demands for post-production work involving skilled artists, softwares, hardware, and time. CGI, beyond its creative benefits, plays a pivotal role in bolstering crew safety on film sets. A notable advantage lies in its substantial reduction of health and safety risks when compared to the use of practical effects. Traditional filmmaking of intricate practical effects often involves perilous elements like explosives, fire, smoke, or complex physical setups, posing potential threats to the well-being of the crew. CGI makes things safer by creating complex and risky scenes digitally, so that the crew doesn't have to face dangerous situations. This not only improves safety, but also makes filmmaking smoother, allowing high-risk scenes without risking the crew. Unlike traditional sets with physical risks, using VFX and CGI reduces the need for elaborate constructions, lowering the chance of an on-set accident. Virtual environments and computer-generated imagery afford filmmakers the flexibility to craft realistic scenes while shielding the cast and crew from the inherent dangers associated with traditional set construction. Compared to the ease of VFX, practical effects have rules and protocols you need to follow for a smooth and safe operation. The production shall inform local residents and businesses of such filming, in consultation with the film contract. All special effects shall be under the direct supervision of a JIGS-graded SFX supervisor or person of similar experience. Production halls consider existing industry codes and guidance documents from recognised bodies such as HSE, BECTU, or a special effects branch. Explosive materials used in special pyrotechnic stunts and visual effects are dangerous, and great care is required in their storage and use. The use, security, and storage of explosives are regulated by the Control of Explosive Act 1991. These include blasting explosives, detonators, fuses, ammunition, propellants, pyrotechnics, and fireworks. Effects supervisors and crew should wear the appropriate personal protective equipment. It is essential to wear ear protection because of the noise and eye protection from the flash. Gloves and head protection should be worn to protect from heat and flying debris. In film and television work, producers should carry out a special effects risk assessment, and a second one should be carried out by the stunt arranger, special effects technician, and provided for the production management and the production health and safety office. Every year, accidents occur on filming sets, involving not only actors but also professionally trained stunt performers. Stunt performers, integral to many film productions, often face significant risks during high-intensity action sequences. Traditional methods of achieving stunts can result in injuries or accidents. With the advent of VFX and CGI, filmmakers can now create breathtaking action scenes without jeopardizing the safety of the performers. Computer-generated stunts and effects offer a safer alternative, allowing for the creation of visually stunning sequences without exposing actors and stunt professionals to physical harm. VFX and CGI have emerged as a safer alternative by replicating many practical effects digitally. This not only reduces the risk of injuries associated with traditional special effects, but also provides filmmakers with greater creative flexibility. While VFX and CGI have undoubtedly brought about advancements in health and safety within the film industry, it's crucial to acknowledge that they also introduce their own set of challenges. Prolonged screen time and potential ergonomic issues for those working on computers are aspects that need to be considered. Additionally, mental health considerations such as stress and burnout persist in both traditional and digital filmmaking. Virtual environments allow filmmakers to create realistic settings without exposing the crew to adverse weather or dangerous locations. It is known that most VFX are done after the actors act in front of a massive green screen, a new technique which contains less work and makes the scene more naturalistic, is the method of using game engine to build background landscapes and project them onto surrounding LED screens. This technique is a mixture of practical realization and virtual construction, allowing film crews to save money on having to move the whole crew to a new location. In conclusion, the integration of VFX and CGI in film production represents a transformative step towards enhancing health and safety standards. These technologies play a crucial role in minimizing physical risks, decreasing reliance on hazardous elements in special effects, and establishing a controlled working environment. This substantial contribution ensures a safer space for creative expression within the realm of filmmaking. Nevertheless, a holistic strategy encompassing technical progress, proper training, and strict adherence to safety protocols is indispensable to safeguard the well-being of everyone engaged in the filmmaking process.